Choose you this day whom you will serve. As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. Lewis the Lunatic Landlord, laundry litigation with the drama Queens Mountains out of Molehills mentality. Lewis the Landlord is harassing me again. It is 2:52. A few weeks later.
Well, it wasn't bird brains, it was more like a bird on my brain.
Good evening. It's Judge Joshua, Dr. Demers, with J and K. We're on display today. We're here to do Lewis the Lunatic Landlord. I guess we call it part 4 and technically a part 5 that just popped up today. Well, what happened with last month was I had a package supposedly supposed to show up. It ended up down the road. That was UPS's fault, but it was beneficial because it got me to believe that Lewis had taken the package like he did the last one to get some kind of emotional fulfillment out of forcing a confrontation. Anyway, so I went ahead and just called the police at this point. The police officer came out and he said, well, because Lewis admitted that he saw the UPS truck go by on the camera. He's got cameras everywhere, like I mentioned in earlier videos. And the officer, had said, well, look, give it a couple of days, call UPS, and see if they figured out what happened to the package. And while we're at it, Lewis, why don't you go through all the, data and figure out, what happened and show proof that, you didn't take it, if that's what boils down to. At the end of all that, the officer had said, hey, Joshua, he says that he has served you an eviction notice and he's talking about, having me remove you or something like that. And I said, officer, on top of all this, these are the handwritten letters he's handed me. He hasn't gone to court. He probably doesn't have the money to do it, because he's not good at being a landlord at all. He's really bad at it, as a matter of fact. And if I can teach him some legal lessons, I'm going to. And so the officer went back to Lewis, explained to Lewis, hey, I'm not doing anything about it. So he got us, together between, in the middle of the, properties between our places of residence, our separate units. And he's like, look, you guys need to get along, blah, 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 And Lewis is like, well, what about this? What about that? And the officer's like, look, why don't we just drop the past? Because the officer, I think, is really got the idea that, Lewis is a narcissist, very likely, even a psychopath. In fact, I'm convinced of it now, and after what happened today. So the officer was like, look, let's drop it. Why don't you guys promise to drop the past, shake hands, which is already, a non-issue for me. I'm, pretty good at that. Isn't that, what Christianity's all about? Accepting people as they are and forgiving them, they're willing to atone for the, repent. Anyway, not trying to get religious. But the officer, so he made a shake on it and, agreed to drop the past. Almost instantly, because I told the officer, I'm not leaving without an eviction, it's just, my dad, me and him, didn't realize that this was going to be the case, and I'm going to make this guy, answer for what he's, what he set himself up for. So anyway, almost instantly after we shook hands, he brought right back up the weaponizing that messed up light bulb instant thing from months ago that was a non-issue. supposedly been settled for months. He brought it right up. He brought it up 3 times, and I just said, hey, the officer said, we promised to forget about the past. He goes, yeah, but what about that light you did? That's, basically saying that's the reason why I got to leave. Why, even though we just shook hands and said we're going to forget about the past, he still thinks I have to leave because of that, using that light bulb thing as justification for it. And so the 3rd time I said, wait a minute, buddy, that's it. You just said you were going to drop it, and that's 3 times you haven't, guy. You're lying to me or something. And I looked over to the officer and said, officer, that right there is what I'm afraid of. Something seemed to snap in his head. Unfortunately, it didn't last long, but hardly a month, and I'll explain that here in a minute. Something seemed to snap in his head when I caught him 2 times in on this complex thing and called him on it. Said, I ain't taking this no more. So I assumed we'd settled our issues. He actually brought it up again after this one more time, and I just again said, look, the officer said we can drop it, right? Knowing, you know what I'm saying, he's totally off in la la land bringing this stuff up like this, over and over and over again. So anyway, a couple weeks go by, and about what is this? Almost about 6 days ago. 7 or 8, no, 7, 8, about 8 days ago. Man, it was a little while ago. The water went out. I went to turn the water on, and I was like, crap. Well, shoot, I need to take a shower and all this stuff, and, clothes are getting built up and everything. Well, I already figured now, the one thing that you can bet on with him to be consistent is the inconsistency. So I already figured, he probably didn't have the water to pay the power or the water bill. Sure enough, I confronted him politely, very politely, like I said, I tried my best to walk on eggshells around him when he's not weaponizing something against me. When he weaponizes a non-issue against me, zero tolerance. I tell him, shut up, go away, leave me alone, go. So, I ain't even talking to you about this stuff. And I even get aggressive about it, even shouting at him halfway, and come right over to my place, shut the door and lock it, and whatever I was doing before he interrupted me, I go right back to it, like he don't even matter to me no more, because he doesn't anymore. Even if I have to force myself to do that, you know what I'm saying? Because he really doesn't care about anybody, including himself or me. It's just what it is with these kind of people. All right, so, but again, I'm polite. I'm handling this well, and so far he seems to be doing a lot better than he was to begin with. But he oh no. So I ended up going to church Saturday, and Soup Kitchen, not a couple days ago, but the week before. And while I was there, I pulled the manager aside and said, hey, blah 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 about the water. I could technically get it turned on, in a week, or even they could, because we'll have the money when we get deposits and everything. But but it's a lot of money too at this point. Blah blah blah. I'm asking you personally, kind of between me and you or some of the higher ups in the church, just for a loan. But if that's not the way things work, and and she's like, no, just call the office on Tuesday, make sure you call it this time, blah blah blah, and and it wouldn't hurt to mention quickly about the conversation, the reference, but not that I do Soup Kitchen and everything, but but the point was to be one of the first callers before they give away all the vouchers for the week. And so I let him know about it, and they got the hopes up and everything. I got all the information I needed. Sure enough, Tuesday I called up, and man, I got through. Woo! After a little while, because it went ring, 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 ring for a bunch of calls, and then it stopped. And I thought, oh no, did they fill all the vouchers up already? And I just missed my chance, and it's too late. But I waited a few more minutes. I tried calling again, and it ring, ring, ring. So it picked up. I'm like, oh my goodness, they didn't shut it down. Sure enough, connected, hey. So I set up the appointment. I got on my electric bike, rode into town, got it taken care of, come back. By the time I got back, they turned the water back on. And they paid almost $300 for the water bill, 2 months water bill and the late fee and disconnect and all that craziness, because, they don't know how to handle the money or something. I don't know if it's funny or not. Oh, shoot. This thing's still going. Oh, good. Yeah, it's still going. All right. So yeah, anyway. Okay. So anyway, yeah. So, okay. That was Tuesday. Wednesday, the water turned back on. Awesome. Let's see. Friday night. Day before Saturday soup kitchen again. It's looking like it's going to be, stormy here. 4 or 5 hours here. Where it's not going to be storming. It's probably going to storm a little bit in the morning. Then a little bit later that next day, Saturday, I'll get some more time to dry another load of clothes. But like I said, the water been off and on and all that. I just now getting a chance to catch up on my clothes. I go over there Friday early afternoon to go do some laundry, and there's clothes in the washing machine. There's 3 washing machines, 3 dryers, 2 of them, one washer and dryer's his over by his residence that I guess once in a while I use as a backup once at this point. So I'm afraid to even move a cord, even if it's on fire, because he might weaponize it and want to, it seems like he's, I don't remember how I put it on a comment, but I did a good job. It's like, when he thinks that I owe him some kind of reparations, he will continually, nonstop create justifications for it. That's what his problem is. That's why at this point, the first time, he stops making sense or stops listening to what I'm saying, click, off, turn around, walk the other way, and just stop feeding into this attention thing he's got, addiction he's got. All right. So anyway, yeah, okay. Man, I went on a tangent. Anyway, I went to go put laundry in, try to get it all done, and there's clothes in the washing machine, which isn't totally abnormal. It happens once in a while when his mom doesn't get around to getting her laundry done in a timely manner. And so I'll try to set it in a basket or off the side. They got a table on there and I even clean the table off, to make sure that the clothes I was taking out of the washing machine wouldn't get, and I pulled them out. I started to notice, there's a lot of sand up in here. I'm going to have to figure out why there's sand in the washing machine and how to get it out. And I did all that figuring out. But again, I just went ahead and ran my laundry in it. Pants came out a little sandy, but everything else came out halfway reasonable. But anyway, so I set his stuff on the clean table, do my first load, get it out on the clothesline just in time, you know what I'm saying, for it to get dry before it gets dark and start worrying about the rain again. And toss my second load in as my first load is going up on the line. And let me explain that for a moment, because it wasn't supposed to go on the clothesline. That's what I'm saying. It just barely made it on time. I got lucky because we got 3 dryers. One of them's supposed to work. Well, I took my clothes over to his dryer, the only one that's working right now, and he had clothes in there. So I had to sit here and juggle his stuff into one of my baskets while I tried to juggle his stuff on the table over here, his stuff in a basket over here, my stuff over here, this stuff on the clothesline over here, this stuff over here, so I can put this stuff in his dryer. And then I go finally get my stuff in his dryer, which he gave me permission to use earlier that week when the other dryer, I told him, I'd work on the dryers, whenever I can get around to it, whatever. But it's ultimately his responsibility. And, it's supposed to be something that's offered with the rent. So anyway, stick it in his dryer, hit start button. And I start smelling electrical burner or something. So I turn it off. I get up in there and the drum's locked up. I turn it back. Get it freed up. Hit the button. I shut it off and I get up in there and I undo it, and I'm like, that's it. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? So I'll put it, I do the little juggle thing again, put those clothes on the line, you know, a few at a time out the dryer so I can just dump my basket in there. You know, my clothes are already going in the washing machine for the second load. My clothes, so I'll get my clothes on the line right before dark. I get those clothes out, and I'm like, well, first thing in the morning, if it's not raining, or right after it stops raining in the morning, I'll put those other clothes on the line and put his clothes back in the washing machine. Or I didn't know they were his clothes. I, you know, put the clothes I found in the washing machine back in the washing machine. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe just hang them out to dry to be nice as well. Well, no kidding, midnight, 11:30. I hear some, you know, I'm headed to bed. Sometimes insomnia and stuff. I'm headed out that way, walking around, or no, into bed. I see some lights and stuff moving around. I look out the back window, and there he is in the pump house, or the wash house, doing something with the lights on and stuff. And I'm like, well, that's kind of weird. Whatever. Well, the next day, I go and go to church, the soup kitchen, come back, you know, do nice things, drop off food for everybody, you know, and then I go look for my clothes in the washing machine. Well, they're not there. I look in all the dryers and everything, gone. I go ask his mom, hey, you know, any idea what happened to my clothes? And she said, no. And I'm like, something, I think, I don't remember exactly when, but somehow, I think, I don't know. I don't know that I knew that it was his clothes at that time. But anyway, I'm like thinking, did he get mad at me and throw my clothes away or something? You know what I mean? What else am I gonna think? You know what I mean? I'm thinking he's doing this as a retaliation. That's the first thing that comes to my mind. Of course, my mind does work hard at finding other possibilities, you know, of what could be going on, you know, to try to keep from getting, you know, locked into something like that without proof and evidence. So I wait a little while, blah blah blah, and was it the next day or whatever, I happened to see him, and he's like, you know, and I'm like, hey, you see my clothes? And he's oh, those are your clothes in the washing machine? Oh, they're all mixed up with my clothes. I saw clothes on this, blah blah blah, and you know, they're all mixed up. You have to give me a little while to sort them and figure them out and all that. And I'm like, all right, well, you know, whatever. You know, because I think I had mentioned to either his mom or him, or somehow he might have got the hint that I was thinking that he did it retaliatory. And I think, you know, again, being a psychologist, pretend psychologist, I think he was trying to come up with an excuse or a reason at the moment to avoid an emotional conflict or something. But then today I'm sitting here watching TV, you know, gone over the neighbors, talking about, you know, running the mower around. He's disabled, running the mower around for him for a couple of bucks. I offered to do it for free, but he gives me a couple of bucks because he's just cool like that. But anyway, I hear a knock on my door. I pause the TV, I open it up. He's like, hey, blah 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 blah. You know, he's like, hey, I think I got all your clothes separated. Why don't you come take a look at them? You know, make sure they're yours or something like that. So I say, all right, hold on a second. And I got the stove on, by the way. Just started cooking, heating up some water and stuff, start cooking food and stuff. You know, kind of half slipped my mind, but, you know, I'm like, I got a lot of things going on here. So I go grab my sunglasses to go walk over there thinking, you know, I'm just literally going to grab my clothes and go. And as I'm starting to walk out the door down the steps, he goes, yeah, I need to talk to you about taking my clothes off the table, not putting them in the dryer. And I said, wait a minute. You know, I already told you that I couldn't get your dryer to work, and you got it to work after I couldn't. And as I was about to start explaining this to him, he's like, yeah, but I feel like you did something about on the table, the clothes on the table. And I said, that's it, stop, shut up, go away from me, go, get gone, leave. You know what I'm saying? And I done got nothing else to talk to you about. And turn around and slam, half slam, I don't really slam, but click on my door, so it closed all the way on my first try, hit the lock and just hit the pause button back, played my TV and shit, and just, I ain't seen or talked to him since. Well, that's about 20 minutes. So anyway, I'm assuming that, when I go to supposedly pay rent tomorrow, or by the 5th, technically, he's probably going to be, oh, I'm going to evict you again, blah, I don't want your rent. But you know what? He abused the garbage can again. There's another garbage can half full of what looks like dirt and a branch sticking out of it that the garbage company won't pick up again. He's doing that craziness with the laundry. So I'm going to either have to just use the other neighbor's laundry, take it into town, or buy my own laundry machine if I end up having to stay here for a little longer. But because of that, instead of paying the trash bill next month, I'm telling them to come get them cans in 1 to 1.5 bags of trash a week I create. Again, I'll ask the neighbor if I can use his, or just take it into town with me and drop it off at church, the church dumpster, because, I'm not going to help him out any at all. You know what I'm saying? And I've got a meeting with one of my good long-term friends, and one of his good long-term friends that's got a fixed income like me, that supposedly with their good credit and our fixed incomes, we might be able to get our own property and just get away from all these, bad people, and just try real hard to keep ties with the good people. Like my neighbor, I consider him a friend now. I moved, into town or on the other side. I ain't gonna lose touch with him. Me and him actually talked about going to go work out. He said since, we got the disabled thing going, we could get, he's got what he's called Silver Pass. About once a week or so, he goes down to Fort Walton and works out. And I said, you know what? That sounds like a great idea. I've really been interested in doing something like that myself. So I'm going to look into that Silver Pass. And, would you care if I joined you? He said, hey, no, I'd be happy to have you as company. So, by the way, a couple weeks ago, I got the DJ for his birthday party, meet a lot of his extended family and everything, and set up my big old, my actual stage speaker and subwoofer, and, had the wireless music going and a microphone, the little karaoke. Oh, we had a blast, man. Set up the portable canopies, some horseshoes and a grill, and yeah, lots and lots of fun over there. So I'll give you guys an update here, hopefully sooner than later. I haven't been really keeping up. I've actually got a whole nother Big Budgie Buddies video done. I just got to get some screenshots to make the thumbnail and upload it to YouTube, and finish it up in the editor or in the YouTube studio. And I got another Budgie Buddies video. All the captures, I just gotta edit it all together and do that. And I got some more footage today that actually probably won't take as long to shoot through. And I'm trying to get a little better with the camera movements. And man, I set up the tripod and camera the other day and didn't get any footage at all except of me talking about how professional the footage is going to be, because the birds just weren't in the mood. All right, everybody. Well, this is Judge Joshua, Dr. Demers, reporting on Lewis the Lunatic Landlord, the Social Security Officer Joshua reporting, and all that good stuff with the Budgie Buddies. See y'all next time. Fucking shit.
how smart they are about knowing how much of Demers sucks. So Jay was sitting there flapping his wings earlier. I got a birdie on my head. Look at this, look at this. What you doing on my head there, KK? I guess that's what it is. Yep, thank you, KK. Thank you for doing that. Hi, Mr. Jaybird. Hi, Mr. Jaybird. What you doing, buddy? What you doing, buddy? Hi, Mr. Jaybird. Hi, Mr. Jaybird. What you doing today?